All right, I shot a video. I'm looking a little scraggly. I shot a video about this subject, and I'm reshooting it because, well, for a few reasons. I'll tell you in a minute. But I want to share something with you right now, and it is something you might be doing. It's something that's built into the human experience, and you can probably relate to the addiction to controversy. Probably more so addicted than you think. You ready to explore this? This is very interesting. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. You know, I get told all the time, I'll help you grow your channel. You should have millions of subscribers. Your stuff's great. And I said, yeah, I know how to get those. I have to post videos that I absolutely will not talk about. Controversy in a way that's so negative, or conspiracies. And we talk about some of that stuff. But my take on it is that there's no future in stone that you cannot change, because you could participate in anything here in a completely different way than your neighbor who thinks that we are in trouble. And I don't think we are. I think that we're experiencing. That's it. I want to talk to you today about the addiction. And before we go, please subscribe. Your support is what keeps channels like mine going. And if you're over on the conspiracy channels with those millions of subscribers, then you are taking the entire frequency of the planet of the negativity is getting the support, and that percentage of us who will tell you the stuff that's not as exciting, that you have to do the work, that you hold the power of the universe, that you are everything right here, that there's nothing outside that's going to grant your wishes. There's no cataclysmic event that we're going to predict that's going to happen, because you here, that's actually in a penthouse, know that we're controlling that. And here says we aren't. It's outside of me. Other people are going to do things, and we have to fight and battle that, and you will experience it. Yes, you will. And the rest who know that that collective is going to take place changes in every moment, and that whatever you're thinking right now controls that. So we'll see what happens with my channel, but I'm very happy with those who are here that really care about going into that space of change, positive change. I want to ask you if you're addicted. Are you addicted to controversy? Are you addicted to negativity? Now I want you to think about this. Are you one of those people that has to watch the news? Yeah? It's probably, especially in the United States, it's either CNN or Fox, and we know which one is which, right? One's more conservative. What does that mean? Well, you have opinions, and you're allowed that. But what's happening on those media channels is the complete programming of the Matrix. The Matrix is a program that we've created that is in a dense material world that says this is how things are. And it manipulates the material world to get what it wants. It's ego-driven. It doesn't look beyond that, because if it looks beyond that, it thinks it's having to sacrifice something, and you're not. You're actually more powerful. When you release the material world, you'll have more abundance and health and joy and all those wonderful things than you ever imagined. It's going to come in ways you never imagined. Why? Because now you don't have stories around it. Oh, I need this. Help me. How about here? Start here. What's here? Now, those of you who are in my lists, I have meditations that take you there. What do we do when we go into that space where all things are possible? We release the stories. You already are perfect, and you hold all power to do anything, yes, even in this dense body. I think there's a few people who walked this planet that showed that that was possible, right? So what happens when we release the stories of limitations, or that that's not true, or they're evil, or I've been a victim? Well, when we release those stories, we realize there is nothing left except for whatever I want to create. The stories limited me. The stories created the anxiety. The stories created the conflict and separation. My story about that other person created the conflict here, not the other person. They tested me to see what that choice was going to be. Right? Your choice matters. Now, you're going to be in a world where you think that being this ascended being here, I go in a different dimension and I don't know where everybody else is. No, we're all here together. But here's what's happening. This is going to happen no matter what, because all things happen simultaneously. Well, they are just one thing happening. People are addicted to the experience of density. It's fascinating. I'll give you an example. Jumping out of a plane. Why would you do that? Everyone goes up there and is petrified the first time. Why do people climb Mount Everest? They know there's a good chance they could, lose toes, die. Why do people go to scary movies? I hear people go, I love scary movies. And they go in and they're petrified knowing it's just a movie. They're actors. They know this, yet they still experience that fear and that, And they'll go home and they take that energy field with them. Keep this in mind. This is how it works. They've exposed themselves to that fear. And they bring it home. And then, you sleep with the light on. Oh, I've done that before. It's been a very long time. Because you think there's something outside of you that holds some kind of power or negative danger. And that's exciting. Why do you watch the videos about the alien abductions? I know what you're watching out there. We know. Creators get to see the analytics and where our audiences are going. And I see people go off into this negative space and they say they need to know this. And I said, well, when you change your perspective on life, you'll change where you direct your energy field, where you entangle yourself. And when you entangle yourself with a different reality, you create it for yourself. You're going to see the world differently. It's addiction. The entire planet's addicted to it. Otherwise, no one would watch the media. No one would go to fast food places. No one would do anything that would harm an animal because they say they have to eat this or they have to do that. It's a bullcrap story you're telling yourself. Oops, you know what this is? You can tell yourself any story you want. I'm right. Well, you're this and this is how it is. And okay, it's your choice. It's an addiction. That news is addiction. The media is addicting. Why? It's fascinating. Conflict's fascinating. Why do we want to see the crash on the side of the road? Did somebody die? I see my neighborhood emails. I saw a crash. It looked really bad. Did anybody die? And I thought, do you really care? You didn't know those people. Or are you just fascinated to know if what you saw was a product of death? Yeah, well, of course, nobody really dies. We can tell ourselves that, but it's a really intense experience, isn't it? What's it like to lose someone? You haven't really lost anything or anyone, but we love that. It's an experience, it's contrast, because we don't get to experience that outside of our bodies. Are you addicted to it? Probably a part of you is. It's tough to turn that news off, even when you know it's a lie. And by the way, they are lies. Because anything that's a distortion of a neutral space of presenting certain things, anything that's a distortion of that, to sensationalize, is a lie. And that's okay. We get to choose our lies and our truths. All of us do. In the material world, outside of our bodies, it's all just choices. There's no right, there's no wrong, good nor bad. They're just experiences. And so the fascination with the evil and the negativity and those who perpetrate it, it's an addiction, it's an experience that they don't know as etheric beings. And they're fascinated with it, and they can get stuck in that darkness. They can stay there. And this is what happens when people don't release the material world, can stay in that space where they're still operating here. They still think they're here. Some of them don't even know they're dead. They're so attached to the experience of the material world or the trauma or whatever it is they experienced here until they realize and release the stories and go off into that pure source of which operates through that experience. through the next experience, through everything. Are you addicted? Probably. Probably a part of you that is addicted to self-sabotage. Do you self-sabotage? Why? You're used to being broke. You're used to being sad. You're used to struggle. So whenever you really have a chance, and you all have a chance, I give people chances every day to make choices, to change. And I see them so hung up on that story about that. And they have a tough time letting it go. Yeah, is that you? So if you are in that position, ask yourself, am I continually going back into that negative space? It's a lower frequency space because I'm fascinated with it, because I know it. I know struggle. I know never feeling good about myself. I know all these. Who would you be if you gave it up? You might not know. I don't know who I am. I don't know how to be this person who's confident and knows that that doesn't define me. It was an experience. It wasn't punishment on me. I participated in that. Hallelujah. Yay. Yeah. PhD. You're not messing around. So take a look at your actions, what you expose yourself to, what you're looking up. Solar flares, super powerful. We've been hit with quite a few lately. This is still 2024. And it is, I looked this up. Can solar flares affect human beings? If they can take out a satellite, yeah. We are electromagnetic fields, right? So some people are getting more sensitive than others, just like allergies or anything. Some people, get them, others don't. Why? Our physical bodies are attuned to different things. So you might be experiencing some things that you're going to feel during that, but don't tell yourself a story about it. Some of my friends weren't feeling real great. And I actually had a couple days where I said, you know what, I'm not 100%, and I don't get sick, ever, ever. And so, when you feel like you don't have 100% going on, I said, you know what, there's stuff going on in the material world that's very real, of course it is. In the experience, how am I handling this? What's the story I'm telling myself about it? You get to choose it. So are you addicted? Probably. It's exciting, isn't it? You like to be scared? Yeah? Think again. Well, you know what? Heaven can be very boring. It can be. There's nothing exciting happening anymore. Oh, another box of bonbons, and I never put on weight when I eat all this stuff that I'm not supposed to eat, or everybody's nice to one another, and okay, but you know what, that's not the world we live in, because we will have challenges. We can still live in that amazing new world and have the contrast. We just handle it differently. And we have the challenges with one another and the experiences, but we come in with compassion and passion and solutions. Go into that now. It's happening right now. Those of you who say it's not, okay, for you. I'm seeing a completely different world, my friend. I hope that you enjoyed this. Digital Explorers, if you're entrepreneurial and you have no idea what you want to do, come on over. I actually start with that. We actually help you find it. You usually go in like, oh, I'm going to be a coach or whatever. It's like, no, you don't have to know anything. We take your life experiences, your passions, what's your purpose, and then we create a positive impact, and we monetize it online. We help you to earn money doing the things that you never imagined you could do before. You don't have to have any tech experience. We don't even teach it. I don't need to teach tech. We got digital Sherpas that do that. Yeah. Digital Explorers, we got something really cool going on there. We're changing the planet, how people do business. What do we do? What do we place first? The planet, others, ourself. If I don't put this mask on, I'm not helping anybody. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.